pretty rough. We've been seeing some fair amount of upsets. We see the usual suspects in that area. It's more so the fact that things are a little rough to see. A lot of team swaps have gone around, but it's more the matter of it's been hard for a lot of teams to adapt, I would say.
Yes. Yes, I full-heartedly agree that, you know, there's a little bit of growing pains just kind of with the mixing and matching and trying to just get accustomed to the new permutations of partners that we have going around this time around. But with that said, I mean, we're hopping into the winners finals. We have SAC and Wess doing a great job. I've had a very fun time watching Wess go off with these battle boots all weekend and clearly showing no signs of stopping. But on the other side, Kyna and Laura's are absolute titans of the game. Should give them a pretty decent run for their money, if not even outright take it over them.
This is the most 2023 Legend lineup I've seen so far. We have the double Onyx, we have Battle Boots, and we have the Kaya here. If there's anything to summarize this year thus far, I think it's this.
Yeah, I'm kind of in I concur. You know, this feels very this year, right? You can see what things have been popular this year, who's been making a splash, what legends have been making a splash. Speaking of a splash, we see Wess go for a splash of his own with that down sig there. But no one really getting a huge edge at the moment. I mean, Kyna gets that down sig, gets both members of the red team, and actually snatches a little lead because of it. Wess getting sent down to the second, but SAC down to the final.
Oh, geez. Now, the entire onus of this game is on SAC. If they can just persevere and at the very least match up damage and stocks with Wess, that's a dub in my book. But the problem is, though, if you're like you're Kyna and Laura's, I'm focusing on SAC. I just want to make this a 2v1 as soon as possible.
Yeah, I feel the same way, right? Get SAC out of the picture, or I guess if you're Wess and SAC, get Laura's out of the picture as Laura's gets sent down. Wess says, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take Kyna out as well. Let's get this 2v1 going in the little brief time that we have. And they managed to get something here, but nothing too wild. Laura's will take some damage for it, though, and that's good damage because there's so much defense on that Kaya. Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, he's hunting. Woo!
Oh, just barely saved by Kyna.
No.
Oh.
Not enough speed to drift, but that's the great thing about having two stocks.
Yeah, you had that extra buffer room. And, you know, the recovery from Battle Boots isn't the best in the world, but, I mean, just the offstage pressure that you can have anywhere but up is incredible that Wess can offer. And so far, at least on the ground itself, Laura's and Kyna have struggled a lot against Wess in this prowess, but speaking of which, though, Laura's is gone, and so it's up to just Kyna. Kyna did find a lot of leverage in the beginning of this game on the Onyx, but now in the 2v1 against the Tesca 2, no less. Okay, maybe now a 1v1. This is still a really scary prospect for Kyna.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is pretty even. I feel like if there's anyone who could beat Wess here, it's probably Kyna. I mean, one of the higher-rated PR players in South America. This is a pretty as close as it can get, and Wess tries to go for a cheeky one there, delays the recovery for the touch, but I mean, Kyna's like one good sig away, one recovery, one D-light, one neutral sig, one down sig. Wess needs a D-light recovery because the recovery straight out's not going to hit. Goes for the exhausted recovery, trying to make it happen. Tries to go for the D-light as well and gets outspaced by the gravity cancel D-light from Kyna. Was a little bit too obvious with what KO option he was looking for there, and Kyna scouted it out and got the punish.
Yeah, it was really good spacing at the end there coming out from Kyna. And the 1v1, you're right, it was much more even than I thought it would be, and it was scary. But the thing is, though, is that Wess tried to be a little over-aggressive with those battle boots, was really trying to find those openers when, you know, just trying to catch Kyna off guard, and that didn't work out well at all. But we did get to see things turn a little bit more even as we came to the lower end of that first game, but the beginning felt so dominant for the likes of Wess with those boots just because they could find so much chip damage in the midst of all that chaos when you can't really pay attention.
Yeah, it seemed like it kind of struggled in the 2v1 a little bit just in terms of like the boots don't have the largest hitboxes, you know, and so, oh, hold on.
Jeez.
I had to pause for a second whenever I see a cannon do anything. But yeah, the hitboxes aren't that big, so when it comes to 2v1, it seemed like Wess was struggling to find that opening hit to lead to the team conversion, but hopefully not going to be a problem here. Beautiful team combo right into that Onyx neutral sig from Wess, getting that neutral sig first and then passing it into the Onyx neutral sig afterward. I mean, this is a pretty great start for the red team.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. But this is pretty similar to how the first game started too, and we did eventually get to see things turn a little bit more even. We saw Loras on Kyna get more activated, especially with the offstage pressure, but this time around though, we're seeing Wess and SAC definitely play a lot more grounded than before. We're not seeing those high-level risks, especially on the battle boots. No, they're not even out off stage just yet. But Gauntlets, well, they found a little bit, but against the wrong person. You had 1 out of 3 of a chance to make that go wrong, and well, unfortunately for Wess, it did. But SAC, though, trying to play off stage, low on this first stock, just trying to find any cheeky ways of getting this advantage even more so.
You can see Wess throwing out quite a few SIGs here, gets interrupted on that one, but it's going to be okay because SAC ends up picking up not 1, but 2 different knockouts, and the red team still has all of their stocks.
Yeah, and they don't look like they're stopping anytime soon except for SAC. That's the first one gone. First of 6 lost in this second game. Wess is going to go off stage again, though. Oh, the gravity cancel signature to keep Loras at bay was unbelievable, but Loras does recover directly into the blender, the ledge guards on the left side. Wess does eventually fall, but was the first stock? There's still so much buffer room, and look at this gigantic combo!
Yeah, looks like SAC dropped the ender there, tried to go for that SIG, could not quite line it up in time, but great damage nonetheless. But the blue team is still trailing behind by a pretty chunky amount. So as far as things are considered, Wess and SAC should be able to close this game out, especially with that knockout onto Loras and Kyna soon to follow. Commanding game 2, and what a response after losing that game 1.
Would you say that was the most dominant game that we've seen so far in South America?
I think it might have been. I think the only other comparison there really is for Fiend and News versus Jaizen.
Oh yeah, Jaizo and Kaido.
Yes.
Yeah, that was dominant. But I mean, having such a dominant game in winners finals, no less, it's a bit of a scary prospect, and it is 1-1 though, so it's not like it's a super dominant matchup overall. But that was a really wild game for yourself to have a comeback too. And it makes me wonder, you know, at this point, we have Demon coming back once more, no legend swaps at all. I'm wondering, there has to be a big team dynamic change here for Loras and Kyna.
And I'm wondering, like, was it just a matter of momentum? Did they get their swing a little bit too early on in that second game? They never really recovered from it? Because the first game was, like, clearly much better, right?
Yeah.
So maybe going to the second one, they're just like, oh, we need to slow them down. I mean, already they're starting off better, right? Almost getting a double knockout right there. Not quite enough juice on that one, but SAC definitely doesn't have a whole lot left in the tank after getting beat up like that.
So far, a little bit of a slower pace coming out from both teams. A lot more safety. Loras, though, off stage, make things a little bit risky, but at least it paid off, though, if you're Kyna. Good to eliminate the stocks now of Wess and SAC, and we're pretty much pace for pace where we were supposed to be in game 2. Wess and SAC ended that game not losing either one of those second stocks, and yet here we are, Kyna now with only their, well,
nice
still
patience.
hold on to their third, okay.
Wess is sitting right there, just waiting to get those kicks on him.
I think Wess trying to go back to SAC, help their teammate out here. We haven't really seen a lot of Loras' bow outside of just signature prowess, and there's a reason why. The punish from SAC across the entirety of the stage and off stage. Now Loras is in their final stock this game. They have to be so careful here. They have so much defense, but when you're overwhelmed by cannon side air, it's like, well, what do you do?
Yeah, you made the mistake of getting caught without your dodge, and SAC shows what happens when Cannon catches you without your dodge. And just like that, Wess and SAC have somehow managed to pull themselves ahead here. They both lost their stock, so now they're slightly behind, but not too bad. I mean, you collapse on Kyna and suddenly you have yourself an even game. I mean, give SAC another dodge, and that's all you need.
That's true. And now Kyna, the onus is on them. They have their second stock still, and they're completely conditioning SAC and Wess off stage. Okay, reversal's out though. Great battle boots conversion. No, battle boots are gone, thrown away. Good, jumps back onto the stage. Gravity cancel down like doesn't connect at all. This is a mess right now on this ledge. Everyone's just swinging out attacks, looking for any way to get back onto the ground. Recovery in the sky from Wess onto SAC. Not what you want to see. Deep red now for both red team. They have to make sure they can at least isolate out this 2v1, but SAC already falls.
Nice, and I love that Wess gets the signature but doesn't actually land it off stage. But it may not matter here, as that's way too far near the blast zone and just isn't able to recover. Great response coming out there from Lores and Kyna. Because otherwise, I mean, this set's looking like it's going to be a back and forth one. I mean, I can't say it's looking like it is. It has been. And I see the pattern continuing. This could very easily be a Game 5, or alternatively, Lores and Kyna, I mean, with another performance like that, might be able to just close it out right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you brought it up, too. It was a lot of momentum going into that third game where it felt like, okay, Laura, both teams wanted to start off really safe. Like, they did not want to go off stage no matter what. But once we saw that comfortability from SAC to take those side airs and remove Laura's, at least temporarily, it felt like the response from Laura's and kind of was like, you know what? Nah, dude, I'm gonna make sure you guys never go back onto the stage again.
Oh, man. I mean, already starting off with some offstage play. Granted, Wess doesn't get the stock for it, but look at all this damage that Laura's got as a result of an extended edge guard. Similarly, Kyna manages to pick up both members of the red team with that cannon string, so that's great value for your buck.
Yeah, I have to wonder right now. Laura's uncontested with these side airs has been able to semi-ledge guard everybody on red team. And Wes, the follow-up there from Kyna so good, again, making sure no grounded movement whatsoever for red team. SAC already lost their first stock. It's up to Wes now to persevere, but if a side air from that other side of the stage is good enough, of course, a spear recovery is going to do the trick.
Yeah, now this is looking pretty tough for Wess and SAC right now, because SAC is taking so much damage already. I mean, one clean conversion is going to be sent down to his final stock. Wess probably not going to be trailing too far behind here. They need to get the first stock off these members of the blue team. You can see a Desperation Sig coming out, doesn't find the mark. This should be a stock here. Oh, but it's a trade. Goes for the gravity cancel end sig because he wanted to make sure that it secured the knockout, but it took extra time, and that extra time led to a punish from the teammate.
Yeah, it was a great raid by, I believe, Kyna to recognize the fact, like, okay, this is not looking good for Lords, but I think, again, I can find that trade and, you know, make this a net positive overall. SAC is down to 1. And Wes, not too far to follow. This is, well, it was back and forth. It really comes down to Wes's stock here. If we can see
these
maybe
combos.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's looking just a little bit unfortunate there. There's the recovery. Both members of the red team down to their final stocks. SAC ends up getting hit by the downsig, the weapon throw. You can see Laura's in hot pursuit. Wes comes unarmed to relieve some of the pressure, but now it converts to a different team combo. Wes just needs a weapon, finally manages to pick something up, but look at all the damage he's taking just for trying to help his teammate.
Oh, attempted desig unarmed from Lores, gets punished, sent off, down to their final stock. It's up to Kyna now to try to hold on, gauntlets in hand, waiting for Lores to camp the weapon to make sure they can grab the bow, but a recovery in response from SAC means, okay, Kyna is in trouble still. They have to use this buffer room to their advantage.
And it's tough because they like kind of want to get the KO on Kyna, but like at the same time,
there's always a trade.
They want to get that damage on Lores first if they can, so that when Kyna comes down with that final stock, it's a little bit easier to separate them. But as you can see, I mean, even getting onto the stage is proving difficult. So many signatures being thrown out. You got neutral lights. You got neutral lights from the cannon, the spear. You got down sigs from COD, side sigs from everything is covering the lip. But Wes somehow, amidst all that, manages to find a giant swing with that side signature on gauntlets and bring things down to even, but not before losing his stock. And that's it.
Yeah, it's over. I gotta say, yeah, it was a big back and forth in the beginning, but I think the small little nuances that we had seen coming out from blue team was that Lores and Kyna, they went for those trades a lot more. They recognized the fact that it was almost nothing but firepower coming up from Wes and SAC, that, okay, well, we can match that, but if they want to go for these supposedly stock ending maneuvers, we can follow up.